Hi there, it's Lety, and you are listening to Lety's English Podcast, your quiet space for gentle healing, honest reflection, and warm encouragement, wherever you are, maybe in your kitchen, on a walk, or lying down after a long day. Thank you for making this moment yours. Let's take a gentle breath together. Breathe in and breathe out. Feel your shoulders relax and let your mind soften. Let the world slow down just for a moment. Today, I want to talk to you about a simple truth that can change the way we live, the way we love, and the way we heal. You cannot heal the world until you heal yourself. Let's start with a story, because stories can touch a place in your heart that facts and advice never will. Many years ago, I knew a woman named Anna. She was a friend who always listened, who always helped, who always said yes. Her house was the first place people went if they needed comfort or tea or a quiet place to cry. But when Anna was alone, she felt tired, she felt empty, she felt a little lost. She would sit by her window in the quiet hours after midnight and ask herself, why do I feel so heavy when I'm always doing my best for everyone else? It took her years to realize that giving everything she had to others, while ignoring her own pain, was slowly wearing her down from the inside. She thought love was about giving, but she forgot that her own heart needed gentle care, just like a tired child needs a mother's arms. Does this sound familiar? Have you ever found yourself helping everyone but not letting yourself rest? We all want to make the world better, to help our families, our friends, even strangers. But how can you pour water for others if your cup is already empty? How can you shine a light for the world if your own candle is just a tiny spark struggling to stay lit in the wind? There's a reason why on airplanes they always tell you to put on your own oxygen mask before you help someone else. It's not selfish, it's survival if you can't breathe. You can't help anyone else breathe either. If your heart is full of unspoken pain, exhaustion, or sadness, it will show in everything you do, even when you try to hide it. With a smile, so how do we begin? How do we start the journey of healing ourselves, especially when we have spent years or even decades putting everyone else first? Maybe you're listening right now and thinking, but I'm fine. I don't need help. Other people have it worse. If that's you, I want to invite you, just for this hour, to set aside your comparison, your guilt, your tough face. Let your heart be honest. Just for a little while, ask yourself, when was the last time I let myself really rest? When did I last say no to something I couldn't handle? When did I forgive myself for making a mistake or for simply being human? Healing doesn't always mean going away to a mountain or meditating for hours or reading every self-help book in the library, though you can if you want. Healing is much softer, quieter, more personal than that. It begins in the smallest, most ordinary moments, like the way sunlight warms your skin on a cold morning, or the way your breath slows when you listen to a song that feels like home. Let me share another story. This time, it's mine. There was a season in my life when I was always tired, always rushing, always worried about disappointing someone. If I wasn't answering messages, I was making lists. If I wasn't working, I was helping someone else with their problems, feeling guilty if I took a single hour just for myself. My smile was real, but it was thin, like ice on a pond in early spring. One evening, I sat in my kitchen with a cup of tea, and for the first time in months, I turned off my phone. I listened to the rain against the window. I let the silence in, let my own thoughts bubble up without pushing them away, and I asked myself, if I were my own best friend, what would I say to me right now? The answer surprised me. I would say, rest. You don't have to do everything. You don't have to be perfect. You deserve peace too. That night, I cried a little just for me. It wasn't dramatic, no music, no big speech, just a gentle letting go. The next day, I felt a tiny bit lighter. I made a promise to myself to practice that kind of gentle care. Not just once, but a little every day. That was the start of my own healing. And slowly, the world around me began to feel softer too. Let's pause. Right now, I want you to check in with yourself. Where do you feel tension? What thoughts keep circling in your mind? Is there a sadness, a worry, a regret that you've been carrying quietly, hoping no one will notice? Breathe into that space for a moment. It's okay to feel what you feel. Healing begins the moment you admit to yourself, I need some care too. You might wonder, if I spend time on myself, isn't that selfish? What about my family, my work, my friends? But think of this, if you keep driving a car without ever stopping for fuel, what happens? If you keep watering your garden but forget to stand in the shade yourself, how long until you are too tired to pick the flowers? Rest is not selfish, it is necessary. Self-kindness is not weakness, it is wisdom. Some days, healing looks like saying no to a request you can't handle. Some days, it's taking a slow walk or letting yourself sleep a little longer. Some days, it's letting yourself cry without shame or laughing at a silly video or listening to a song that makes your heart swell with memory. Other days, healing is as simple as breathing in and out and forgiving yourself for not being everything to everyone. I remember a friend who always brought snacks to work for everyone. He was the life of every party, the person who listened, who joked, who cheered everyone up. But behind that bright spirit, he was exhausted. He felt he couldn't ever show weakness, couldn't ever say he needed a break. One day, he finally said, I can't do this alone anymore. We sat together in quiet, and I realized the strongest people are not those who never break, but those who know when to ask for help. Healing yourself is not about closing the world out. It's about making your own heart strong, so you can love more freely, help more deeply, and live with true joy. Imagine your heart as a garden. If you only pull the weeds from others' gardens, but never water your own, what grows there? If you take a few minutes every day to notice your own feelings, to let the sunlight in, to tend your own soil, what might bloom? You might be surprised how your world changes. When you become softer with yourself, the people around you start to feel safer too. Your patience grows, your kindness becomes deeper, more genuine. Even your laughter becomes easier. Your words more comforting. The world changes not because you fixed everyone else, but because you brought a healed, whole heart to everything you touch. Pause again. Think of someone in your life who is always giving, always caring. For others, what would you say to them if you could give them one gift? Would you offer them rest? Would you tell them it's okay to need comfort too? Can you offer yourself that same gift today? We sometimes believe that being strong means never needing help, never falling apart, never being sad. But true strength is soft, like water able to move mountains, yet gentle enough to hold a single leaf without breaking it. When you begin to heal yourself, you notice the world's beauty more clearly, colors seem brighter, small joys feel bigger. You find meaning in simple things, a child's laughter, the taste of fresh fruit, the hug from a friend who says nothing, but understands everything. You learn to listen to your own needs, just as you listen to the needs of others. You become patient with yourself. If you feel sad, you let yourself feel it. If you feel joy, you let yourself celebrate, even if it's only for a moment. You forgive your old mistakes. You stop carrying anger you no longer need. You let your heart become soft again, instead of building walls around it. Some days, healing feels slow. Some days, it feels like you're moving backward. Feeling pain you thought was gone forever? But healing is not a straight line. It's more like the tide coming and going, sometimes high, sometimes low, but always moving, always reshaping the shore of your life. Let's take a gentle breath together. Feel the air move in and out. Notice how, even in stillness, you're healing. You might be wondering, how do I start? How do I even know what my heart needs? Begin with small questions. What brings me peace? What makes me feel safe? What do I miss about my childhood? What do I wish someone would say to me? What would I do if I weren't afraid of being selfish? Even now, as you listen, maybe your mind is offering gentle answers, a walk outside, a favorite meal, a quiet afternoon without responsibilities, the permission to rest without guilt. Maybe, just maybe, the softest answers are the ones you need most. I'd like to invite you to create a small ritual, a healing pause in your day. It could be 5 minutes each morning to breathe, or a journal where you write your thoughts, even just one sentence or a moment. At night before sleep, to place your hand on your heart and say, I am doing my best. It's enough. You might feel silly at first or worry that it won't matter, but I promise, little acts of kindness add up. They teach your heart to trust again. They remind your soul that you are worthy of care, of patience, of gentleness, just as you are. Let's make a promise together that we will not wait for the world to be healed before we let ourselves rest. That we will not wait for everything to be perfect before we say, I deserve peace. That we will start today with the smallest act of kindness for ourselves, because when we do, the ripples spread. A healed heart becomes a safe place for others. A rested spirit has more to give. A gentle soul creates gentle change in the world. Maybe you feel like you're always the one people lean on. You're the strong one, the helper, the one who holds things together, but even strong arms get tired. Even bright lights need time to recharge. It's not a weakness. It's a law of nature. Think of a beautiful tree in a wild storm. The branches bend and sway. The leaves are tossed by the wind. But the tree stands firm because its roots are deep, because it has taken the time to grow strong from. Within, your healing is like those roots. It holds you steady when the world is wild. It gives you the power to reach out, to give shade, to offer comfort to everyone who rests beneath your branches. Let's talk about forgiveness. Sometimes, the person we need to forgive most is ourselves. Maybe you regret something you said, or something you didn't do. Maybe you carry shame or guilt, or fear that you're not enough. Forgiving yourself doesn't mean forgetting, or pretending everything was perfect. It means saying, I am human. I did my best. I will keep trying. You are not your mistakes. You are not your failures. You are not the pain you have carried alone. You are a living, changing, growing person. And every new day is a chance to be a little kinder to yourself. If you have ever stood at the window and wished for a softer world, start by making your inner world softer. Give yourself patience. Give yourself time. Give yourself a gentle word when you fall. It might feel unfamiliar at first. Many of us were taught to be tough, to push through, to never show our pain. But healing comes when we allow softness back in, when we let ourselves feel instead of hiding, when we ask for help, instead of pretending we don't need it. Let me share a little exercise you can try tonight before you sleep. Close your eyes and think of one small thing you're proud of today. Maybe you finished a task. Maybe you were patient with someone. Maybe you just made it through a hard hour. Say thank you to yourself. Let that pride, no matter how small, settle in your heart. You might be surprised how this simple practice can start to heal old wounds. Slowly, quietly, one gentle moment at a time. Sometimes Healing is about letting go of expectations. Maybe you imagined your life would be different by now. Maybe you wanted to be stronger, braver, more successful. It's okay to grieve the dreams that didn't come true. It's okay to start again. To plant new seeds in your heart. The world needs people who know how to heal themselves. Because healed people heal people. Gentle people create gentle places. Kindness grows from the inside out. Take one more deep breath with me. Feel the ground beneath you. Notice how far you've come. Every struggle, every tear, every small act of self-care has brought you here. You're listening. You're learning. You're trying. That's enough if you want. Share in the comments one way you're going to be kinder to yourself this week. Or simply write it on a note and keep it close. You are not alone on this journey. We are all walking this path, step by gentle step. You have permission to feel, to heal, to heal. And as you do, you light the way for others. Thank you for being here, for being honest, for being brave enough to care for your own heart. May your healing continue, quietly and beautifully, day by day. Until next time, this is Lety, sending you warmth, gratitude, and a wish for gentle healing inside and out.